Hello, Aaron. Welcome to the show, man. I appreciate you for coming on, dude.
Yeah, thanks for letting me come on, Adam. I appreciate it very much. Appreciate the invite. Glad to do it.
I Anytime, dude, because I had Morley on. He's like
Yeah.
close friends with you, and we were talking about it, talking about Joker's Wild, which we will get into very
Okay.
soon, because that's one of the reasons why I wanted you on, because I really love the short film. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
appreciate
we were
that.
just talking about you and stuff like that. And it was just saying that how you're like super nice and chill, the sweetest guy, but like how like what you did with the Joker's Wild was just like beyond crazy.
Yeah. No, it's funny. Everyone that I meet in the horror family, because it really is like it's a community. It's a pretty tight community. They're all just laid back and chill, and like, you'd expect them to be intense, wearing gothic makeup and drinking blood and like doing terrible things. It's like, no, man, I got to go pick up my kids. It's just that this is the thing they're into, and when they see something that they really like, they're very supportive of it. Now, I don't think that exists in comedy, maybe in the stand-up comedy world, which is also small, which I came from. But when you find your community, like this is like they've been really welcoming. I wasn't sure how Joker's Wild was going to be received. I wanted to work with David. I wanted to work with his makeup artist, Tatiana Bluchel, and so it was just a good opportunity for me to move from what was typically what we call below the line, which is like the labor and the crew and the things that get the movie made behind the camera, to have an opportunity to direct, because it was, I mean, a big opportunity. Just to, long story short, to be able to do that. And I think a lot of people, I don't think anyone would ever say that. I got really lucky. David's very talented, and
Yeah.
it made it incredibly easy on me. It's only the second short film I had ever directed, but I'd written a couple others, but wasn't at the helm of getting them produced. And then this time it was produced with my two other co-producers, Vanessa Lee and Hunter Williams. And Hunter stepped in and actually played Batman. You can see in the credits, and he has that scream that freaked everybody out. It was just like it's very uncharacteristic of Batman to lose his cool like that. And so a lot of people in the comments on YouTube and stuff were like, that was really haunting, and even Hunter goes, man, you made me sound really good. You must have jazzed that up with some augment on my yell. And I was like, no, man, that was
Yeah.
that was your yell. That was because we had time. We only had a little bit of time as a 1 day shoot.
Mm.
We he did, and then 3 hours of that was David in makeup, and so we shot as much as we could of Joel LeBlanc, who played Robin. We shot as much of Joel as we could, and then we kind of just ran out of coverage. We were like, we got to have David up here now, like with like this is, and then that's right when he showed up. It was great because my behind the scenes stills photographer had music keyed up for
Yeah.
David's theme song, and so he came upstairs to like this crazy music, and so we were hearing this upstairs, like, and makeup was all downstairs. So in the stairwell, this music just starts coming up like he's a WWF wrestler or something. You just start hearing it. I guess WWE. That tells you how old
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah.
And and uh, and then all of a sudden he pops around the corner and he's just done up, and we're like, okay, well now we can rock. This is it.
Mm.
But and Hunter, he waited till the very end of the day. He was in makeup pretty quick as Batman, and then we didn't really have chance to do very many takes of that behind the back coverage of him holding Robin.
Yeah.
And so you have to set your sound levels normally, and we didn't really say anything, but like, oh, I told the sound guys, like, oh, he's gonna scream, and normally they kind of make an adjustment on their packs so that it doesn't cause a lot of distortion. But then Hunter really
Yeah.
went for it, and he screamed his lungs out. And then we did two other takes, but sound had been adjusted to like, okay, well, ear's really going to be loud, so I'll adjust how close the boom is. I'll make some adjustments on my belly pack, and then the other two were okay. But like when he blew out the mic on the first one, it sounded so gnarly and so terrible, like just like real gritty. I was like, that's the one I ended up going with. I think I used the coverage of like the second or third one because he leaned back in the light a little better and it looked a little more rad. But I
Mm.
used the yell. I used the yell, and I from the first one, and I matched them up. Little movie magic.
Yeah, the little tricks that you can pull up your sleeve.
Yeah, everything you can with what you have, and that's the kind of the story of Joker's Wild is calling in every favor, and we didn't have wardrobe 36 hours before the movie was going to be shot. It was actually
Yeah,
shorter than that. I found out my wardrobe wasn't going to be ready, and I'm not a union wardrobe person, so I couldn't rent from any of the big houses that had all the fancy costumes that would have worked. And someone, my Annie Williams, who was my key grips, goes, I know a guy. He's not a wardrobe stylist by trade, but he sews and creates wardrobes very specific style. He's more like an artist, like traditional artist sense, like where he finds objects and he makes clothing out of them, and then he sells them
mm.
as art pieces on Etsy. I was like, well, I'm
Yeah,
fascinated, and I'm at the 11th hour, so I would love to meet this guy. And she sends me a link to his Etsy page, and he specializes in like this is Aaron Camacho. He specializes in uh, uh, steampunk, post-apocalyptic garb, where everything's kind of sewn together, like with bird feathers and gun shells and things like that. He makes necklaces and hand sews like fingerless gloves and gauntlet type things. And I'm just
yeah,
like, oh, this is rad. And he goes, what do you need from me? And I said, well, it's for the Joker, but like not in the 1960s TV show kind of Joker. Like I want those colors, like I want purples and yellows and greens and things like that. But
mm.
uh, I want something different. Like I want something in a horror world, in a nightmare world, where this guy doesn't walk in and pull something off the shelf at Macy's, like that's just some purple zoot suit. Like I think he murders somebody and takes a pair of boots he likes. I think he
Yeah,
murders somebody
probably.
and takes a jacket that he likes. I don't think this guy
Yeah,
spends money on wardrobe, and that's kind of been established in the cinematic world, where this Joker is always kind of like sharply dressed, like the Joaquin, Phoenix Joker kind of has that awesome suit. And I'm just like, I just don't think that a criminal that does these types of things and a psychopath that does these types of things, regardless of
yeah,
what drives them, is going to have the wherewithal to be like also stylish. And I read comics too, and I know that that's typically established that he has a purple suit. That is like, paper white skin, purple suit, smile that doesn't quit. Like I know the comics. I'm familiar, and David knows them better than anyone I've ever met in my life. He's like an
yeah,
encyclopedia. Um,
yeah,
and so he kind of he definitely corrected me. He's like, okay, well, I can bring the costume that I cosplay with if you want me to. And I'm just like, that's the thing that I don't think this is that world. I'm going to do something a little more like 1980s punk with this,
yeah,
which I understand is bizarre to a lot of people, but the comic that I'm modeling it off of was from 1988. And I thought, maybe the music could reflect that. Maybe the leather jackets and studs could reflect like the punk garb that, was being worn at the time, uh, from like a street thug point of view. And I thought he
yeah,
would he would probably attract that element. He would be around those people, and if he killed someone and took their jacket, that's probably what it would be. And he would probably spray paint "ha ha ha" on it. I mean, and Aaron Camacho was working so late in the night that the jacket that David was wearing was literally still tacky. The paint was still tacky on the back of the jacket, and
yeah,
like it came together. I mean, I would love to say that I'm the kind of producer that took 6 months to prepare this, but I only found out, towards the end of November that I was even going to have David wrote the script and got it to him so he could sign off on it. And then
Yeah.
5 days later, we were shooting on the 4th of December. And then I had a final cut done and it was showing it to him 3-4 days before
Yeah.
Christmas. and then we was going to try and drop it, but we had some sound issues and getting all the post stuff lined up. I don't like to take 6 months or a year to deliver something. If I've got everything in front of me, I like to compile it, get it ready, fall in love with it, and then send it out into the world. I don't want to sit there and go, well, maybe I'll find distribution next year, or whatever. It's like, no, I knew from the very beginning I was going to drop this on YouTube. It was going to be free. I wanted everyone to see it. David wanted everyone to see it. I got a reaction video that's posted on Instagram of him seeing it
Nice.
for the very first time. Yeah, Adam, it was really cool. Like he's sitting there, we're at like a diner, and I brought some headphones for him as he's sitting there, and we just had a breakfast, and he's watching it, and I was kind of worried, like you're showing somebody something for the first time, you're like, is he gonna pat me on the head and be like, oh, that's adorable, don't ever show this to anyone,
Mm.
or is he gonna be
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
because if he doesn't want anyone to see this, no one's ever gonna see this.
Mm.
But he was blown away, and he was just like, this turned out really cool, because the way we shot it, there was no time to like spin the monitor around and show David like, this is how you look, this is how the scene's coming out, he's a good enough actor to where he knew that his lines were hitting and that we were all excited, and people were smiling from ear to ear. And then when he hit the moment, I moved on. He's like, do you want more? No. He's like, I want to try something. So he would try something. He's a very intuitive actor.
Yeah.
And he plays these parts that are non-speaking roles. That's what he's maybe most famous for. I don't think that's going to
Yeah.
last, not for very long. Like he is going to be doing a lot more stuff that's not just him pantomiming and scaring the hell out of people. I think he's a very versatile actor, classically trained actor, and I think people are going to see a lot more of that real soon.
Oh, 100%, man, because I've been a big fan of his since the Terrifier franchise, obviously. And then I looked into his other stuff like what was it, Stream?
Yeah,
The
Stream's a hit,
Survival,
and yeah,
yeah, and was it Screamboat Willie or whatever it was?
yeah, Screamboat's fun. I was lucky enough to go. I was lucky enough to go to the LA premiere of that on Sunset. I took my girlfriend to that, and
Yeah.
we didn't know what we were in for, but I already went and saw the premiere, the cast and crew premiere of the same director's movie, The Mean One, where David plays the Grinch. And
Yeah, he was
I don't
good in
know,
that too.
he was great. Like that's a lot of fun. That's a fun movie. And
Yeah.
I took my dad to that, and my dad had never been to a cast and crew screening, and I didn't know what kind of movie we were about to watch. I didn't know if it was going to be like a tongue in cheek kind of slasher, or if it was going to be like a serious slasher. It was just fun. It was fun and ridiculous, and there's like moments where he walks in and he does all the mannerisms that Jim Carrey made so famous, and that are so famous from the cartoon, from all those
Yeah.
years ago, the Dr. Seuss cartoon. And it's like, man, and it was just so funny how delicate they were about saying anything about being remotely like similar to this trademarked IP, like, but
Yeah.
it's fun. I remember laughing, and I felt like the whole theater was like the crew definitely was into it. They knew the joke. They were there when it was being made, but I think the people that hadn't saw the movie yet, we're still trying to figure out like, all right, I'm gonna be scared. There's gonna be a lot of blood. There's gonna be some killing. There'll be some moments of tension or whatever. But like, I feel like I kind of broke the seal on laughter when we saw what was being done like in that movie as an audience. And I was like, this is just
Yeah.
fun. This is fun and campy, and this is what some of these horror movies should be like, where you go with your buddies and you laugh your butt off, and the kills are outrageous. And
Yeah.
yeah, Dan Lamorte, like I really feel is a he's got a style that I think is a lot of fun. I think he does a lot with
Yeah.
a little, and I think that as his budgets go up, I think we're going to see some wild stuff from Lamorte for sure. I think he's rad.
Yeah. Yeah. So was this like the first time working with David on any with other, like these type of projects before and stuff like that?
Yeah, for me, yeah, this is the first time. The first time I ever met him in person was when we were on set together, and the first time
Okay.
I never spoke with him until we spoke on set. And we're in production when everyone's loading in gear and everything else on day one, and everyone's getting situated. As a producer, there's really not much time to sit there and talk. That usually happens later, but I'm also directing, so I basically,
Yeah.
hey David, we got you some Fresca. We know you like that. Here's your makeup room. Get your ass in that chair. I'll be upstairs. and then, and it was just like it was, and he was just so chill. He's really, if you've ever been to a horror convention and you met David, he's just the easiest going guy, one of the nicest people. He's gracious to his fans, and like he's as big a fan of his fans as they are of him. And I don't think that happens a lot.
Mm.
And so it's nice knowing him. It's been great to get to know him over the last year, because tomorrow marks, I mean, I guess your time right now marks 1 year that Joker's Wild has been on YouTube. Because
Oh
I
shit.
just yeah,
Already.
I just looked up and saw like, oh, it's the 23rd. So yeah, it's I think I dropped
Yeah.
it on the 24th of January last year because the fires pushed everything way back.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Because I know that like he was teasing that character for quite some time,
yeah,
and because I could tell he really wants to be the Joker in the DC universe. Like I
oh yeah,
could just tell like he'll be like the perfect. You'll be like stupid not to cast him as the Joker in like the DC universe. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Um, I remember when that came out, and I'd be like, "Oh, something's coming up here. I can smell it. Something's fishy is going on here." And
Right.
then a few weeks later, it's just like short.
Yeah,
Come watch like the short film of Joker's Wild on YouTube right now. It's out now, and I tag you in there as well. And I watched it, and well, for 13 minutes, you get a lot in that, and like for for me, I think that would be like the perfect opening scene for a movie.
oh man, we tried. Yeah, thank you. Like, so I have a really good cinematographer, and my best friend Chris Bond. He's really talented, and we knew we were going to go for something. We worked for a couple days leading into it on a shot list that was going to be, okay, we're limited by the amount of space, we're limited by the amount of time. How can we just squeeze out every bit of cinematic beauty that we could possibly get to make this thing look as impressive as possible? And well, Chris knows the technical end of, what cameras, what lenses, how we should frame, whatever else. And I just told him, please, like, I just need this moment. I need this moment. I really need a close up here. I really want him to walk up to the window, and I want to see it from the other side. And
Yeah,
he talked me off some certain ledges that were just like, yeah, if we do that, that's time. And yeah, we can get this shot, but that's more time. And so we got to be really judicious about where we spend our time. And we ended up getting, I think, 26 setups of our 28 setups that we had planned, and uh, which was a really good day. But it was without David being so good, without Joel being so good, and without Hunter being so good. If there would have been any problem childs that were just like, I'm going to need another one, or I need a break or whatever. Not to say I abused my actors at all. We were all having a great time, but like any little setback could have really been a disaster. So but we were so into it, and like I wanted to be done in 12 hours because, as a professional, I don't want to make actors and crew stress and work. And 12 hours is a long day anyway, and it's a tremendous amount of
yeah,
work and effort to stay creative for 12 hours. And I think after 12 hours, it's like diminished returns. People start getting tired. There are safety concerns. Somebody trips in the dark because it is dark in there. Like it's not good. I don't believe in this 14-hour, 16-hour, 18-hour Hollywood. Got to get it to onto Netflix. Let's go go go. I don't think that's safe. I don't think it's worth it too. Put
No,
some
it's
of these,
not.
you know, we have crew members that fall asleep at the wheel after these 16, 18-hour days and wreck their cars. Unfortunately, we lose grips and electrics and our art department people every year in this town to these schedules that are just, and these are young folks. It's not like, you know, they're just burning it at both ends, and that's the tragedy that can be easily avoided. So like I wanted a 12-hour day. I wanted everybody safe and happy, and like we were having a great time. And that to me was, as a producer, was really important. As a director, I was losing my mind. I'm like, am I going to get everything that I need because this is the only shot
Yeah.
I got? And then like
Yeah. And
nine
time is
months later,
money.
yeah, well, yeah, and I guess I self-financed it, so I wasn't even thinking
Yeah.
about the money. The money's gone. Like I've already spent. I spent $4,800. I barely had. I got a credit card that I'm still paying on. Like I'm not. I live in Los Angeles. That is a nice way of saying I'm broke. So
Yeah,
there's.
the nice part of like America. It's just like, yeah, Los Angeles
Yeah,
bankruptcy.
yeah, exactly. There's not a ton of money floating around behind the camera. Most of the money lives in front of the camera. But we were having fun and doing things with our friends, with like all the people in our lives that are special to us. We were able to make something fun, and that like I hope ended up on camera too. And David got to flex, and the whole mission was like, can we put him in Joker makeup? Can we? Because he was already in Nightwing Escalation, so he already did a web series as the Joker, but it was just, you know, David's face, and you know, with white and the purple suit and everything else. It was very
I
standard,
think
very
I've seen that.
yeah,
I
yeah,
think I've seen that. Yeah.
very comic accurate. It's really good. It's fun, and people should check it out.
Yeah.
And it's fan made, but it's, I mean, they did a whole web series. They did a really good job, and they got a lot of production value that a lot of fan series don't really get, because they had some pretty experienced and knowledgeable crew. And so I think they did a great job as well. And they've been really supportive of Joker's Wild, because what they were doing was just a legitimate, like, let's tell a story ABC, and let's also give something for the fans that know these plot points. I was just over here going, I got the number one name in horror. I got to scare some people, but I also
Yeah.
I want a comic accurate Joker who's got the facial features that I remember from, you know, the long chin, the, you know, the
Yes.
smile and everything else that, and it's a rictus grid. And that was something David and I did chat about, was like, this is not a pliable smile. It's fixed. Uh, and you know, a lot of people are like, oh, I don't like how the face looked. I mean, I just feel like, okay, in cinema you aren't used to seeing it. Jack Nicholson, they adopted it, and it maintained the grin even when he was, you know, doing other expressions. So I think
Yeah.
that was the closest that we had ever had. Other than that, it was the scars with Heath Ledger, or, you know, other, you know, Jared Leto had his thing going. But I feel like I think it was just time to see something like horrific, and in this world doing horrific things. And there maybe a
Yeah.
little bit of body horror exists now within the genre of horror, and I think that we could do just a little bit of that. Budget constraints, though, I had to be like really good with the edit, and really good with like the position of the camera to try and hide that. Like I don't have Damien Leone, you know, time and stuff, and but my guys were really talented, and they knew, like, I mean, I only told her the night before that I wanted to rip a tongue out, and she's just like, you could have told me this a week ago. Like, I'm like, yeah, but can I have it? And she, like, Tatiana's like, all right, I might have one laying around. And then she sent me a picture. She sent me a picture. She goes, do you want one that's cut off? Do you want one that's ripped off? And I'm just like, it's just it's
Slightly both.
yeah, a little of both, like a little tearing, a little cutting,
Yeah.
and yeah. And I said, I want a rip eye out too. Like I want him to have a ripped eye. And she's like, you got to tell me this stuff in advance. And I was just like,
Yeah.
well, technically this is in advance, but she's got a great attitude and a great team. And so we had like Cassie White, Pedro Rios, and Tatiana Blue Shell, and their company is called Valley Girl FX.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, and so shout out to them too. If you're here in the area, or they will travel. I think they've all got their passports. She grew up in Germany, so take Tatiana and her team anywhere in the world. They're good people, and they
Yeah.
did a lot for very little. And not that I'm saying you shouldn't give them a lot. You'll get even more if you give them a lot. But yeah, if I would have had more time, man, that's always the thing. Like, bigger budget buys time, and with the sequel, that's to Joker's Wild. That's what I'm trying to do too. Is just raise more money so I can have more time and let these people flex a little more. And
Yeah.
it was pretty stressful making it all in one day. Is I
It
don't
would
recommend
be.
it.
Notes taken.
Yeah,
But
yeah. To
what
all
what
filmmakers
I
out there, yeah, to filmmakers out there, don't don't do it to yourself. Don't bite off more
I
than you
always
can
say that
chew.
I always say that to people that wants to work in the hospitality industry, because I'm a chef by trade, and I have been a chef for 20 years. And when I meet people that wants to come and work in the kitchen and stuff like that, it's just like, are you sure you want to do this?
Right.
Think about it.
Those are
You
those
got
are
a whole
long
life.
days,
You got a
Adam.
whole let.
Yeah,
It is, yeah, and
yeah.
it's like it'd be like, you got a whole life ahead of you, man. Think smart, dream big.
Yeah, I was in food retail for 24 years, for almost 25 years, and
Yeah.
the same thing. I could get these bright-eyed kids in there going, "I'm just gonna work a little summertime job," and I'm like, "You're gonna blink, and you're gonna buy a car or do something foolish with your money, and you'll be here for 5 years. So stay in
Yeah.
school,
Yeah.
save as much
Think
money as
about
you
your
can."
future.
Yeah, don't get a girlfriend. Don't get a
Yeah.
girlfriend. Or if you do, don't take her anyplace fancy. Save your money. Like, you go to
Yeah.
college.
Yeah. And then you go do something good with yourself, and then
Yeah,
come back and fake me later.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, come back and
Yeah.
give me a job.
Yeah, exactly. Since I gave you some advice.
Yeah.
What I liked about David's version of the Joker, it reminded me like the Arkham games a bit too.
Yeah, yeah. That was one of
You
the
know,
images I sent Tatiana. Was right out of Arkham.
yeah,
Arkham.
and I love those
Arkham
games,
Knights.
man. I love those
Yeah.
games.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
and the shape of his face, just how ratty his costume was. It had frays and tears and stuff in it. I was like, that definitely was an inspiration to me, because I just don't want a clean cut, nice suit. Yeah.
yeah.
I'm glad you
Compared
picked
to
up on that.
because I game every now and then and that, so that's like my downtime
Yeah,
when I'm not at work or anything. It's either like gym, gaming, food, or this.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
And it's a good
Oh,
combination to have. And
yep.
yeah, I picked that up straight away while watching the short film on my phone, looking like this and stuff like that.
Yeah, I know.
That's I have to wait till I got home so I could watch it on the big TV. So like I'm like, oh, okay, I see where he's going with this one and shit like that.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah, that's what I liked about it. And um and I also with the other Jokers as well in the other movies, like what we were saying, like Jack Nicholson's Joker, Heath Ledger's, Wycon Phoenix, which is, but I think he was maybe it's hard between Heath Ledger and Wycon Phoenix, because I thought um, Phoenix version of the Joker was showing like his mental health side of things, like
yeah,
his mental illness side of things, while Heath Ledger's Joker was more like a psychotic, like, and to me it's like Hannibal Lecter
yeah,
meets Jigsaw.
yeah. Hey, that's a great. Yeah, that's 100%. Yeah, I love that. I've never heard
Yeah,
anyone suggest that. That's a great breakdown, because it's true.
yeah,
But he was also functional. That whole speech that he does in Dark Knight to Two Face in the hospital is like, "Do I look like a man with a plan?" That kind of thing.
yeah,
Like, yeah, that I was just like, that I found was really inspirational to the character, the way it was written, the way it was delivered. Um, yeah, no, it's one of my favorite movies. Obviously, yeah. It's good. It's top
And
to bottom good.
with Jared Leto's Joker, I don't know, because to me it was kind of like watching a really bad rap video. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. Well,
Like, it
that's
just
you're batting a
with the
thousand
long
there.
moppy hair and stuff like that. It was just like, since when? Like, I know the Joker run gangs and stuff like that, but like,
Yeah,
since when did he turn gangster? Like,
yeah, yeah.
in that movie, to me, I think that was the worst one, and I don't really care what anyone says. You know,
No,
love him, hate him. It's just
yeah.
like it
You
wasn't that
can,
great.
yeah, you can if you put them all side by side and you voted, like, to me, it's not going to be in the middle. It's not going to be in the lead, and
Mm,
it's only it's just because it's not reminiscent of the comics that I've read. And so
yeah,
when someone goes that far off the range, I'm like, okay, well, you're trying to do an artistic rendition of X, Y, and Z, and I'm sorry, all the material exists. The map is there. You have a compass, but yet you're still lost. I don't
yeah,
understand what you're trying to do. And I'm a fanboy, and there are a lot of people who can say the exact same thing about mine, but like, just please understand that it's a horror movie as well, not first and foremost, but like, it's a Batman fan film first and foremost, but it was done in the genre of horror. And so there's certain
yeah,
things that were like, if I stay also, this was one of the things too. They're like, oh well, he got beat with a crowbar and then blown up with a bomb.
yeah.
And that's how Jason Todd died. I'm fully aware. Like, I get it. Like, I know. Like,
Nice.
I'm 100% aware. This is like the second or third copy of this I've worn out. Like, I get the source material. I can tell you the page numbers. Like, and I'm a huge fan of how Jason Todd uh, dies in this comic, because I think it's probably one of the most significant comics, because the fans were allowed to vote on whether or not he lived or died. And it was only by a tiny margin of like, what, 600 people or something like that, that the fans said, yeah, Jason Todd is going to die in this explosion. Batman's not going to get
Yeah,
there soon enough. That's wild. It's wild that we were able to have that much say. It's wild that DC was prepared to do one or the other. You know, I don't know. I'm sure there's some interviews out there that say like, we all thought everyone was going to want him to live, uh, and so we never even drew the death portion. You know, like, but I think any good artist
yeah,
would be like, I have to cover both these bases, because who knows what's going to happen. There could be
yeah,
one crazy rich kid that's just going to sit there and dial, you know, like 50 cents, 1-900 number over and over and over, and vote 1,000 times to everyone else, and just to, you know, tip the scale. But
yeah,
in this, like, I had to do something that was different, but I also wanted all those Easter eggs. I wanted people to see a crowbar. I wanted there to be a joke about the crowbar. You know, what kind of bars? You know, Robin's least favorite bar is a crowbar. Like, I wanted all of
mm,
those jokes in there, because I'm saying, you know, like, thank you to my fellow comic nerds, and, you know, like, out there, like, you know, seeing the radio. Like, okay, thank you to my Jack Nicholson fans for having the boombox, you know, when they walk in and you know, trash the art studio at the Guggenheim or whatever. Um, like, those little nods of having a boombox and having this and doing that, and to me, are important for fans. Like, we enjoy that stuff, and we look for those Easter eggs. Um, and David was just all about it. He added a bunch that I'd never even really considered, just because he was pulling from memory, like, you know, all these wonderful toys. I don't think that's in my original script. Like, there were a bunch of
yeah,
things he did when I just walked in. I said, "Well, Dave, fill out the room. Like, let me know what you think. We got a table over here with some torture things over here." And he's like, "Ooh." And then he goes, "Oh, what are we going to do with all these wonderful toys?" And I'm just like, "Oh man, that's all right. That's so good." And it's from, you know, actual Batman cinematic lore. He, you know, he's like, where did he get all these wonderful toys? I'm just like, that's too good. So yeah, we're gonna
yeah.
do that now.
Nice,
Yeah, and
nice.
it was fun. It was a fun collaborative thing, and time flew by, which was, as a producer and a director, stressful, but as like a fan of comics, it was awesome to see. And you should have Joel on here, and he can tell you the story from his points of view about what it was like working with David too. He had a good time as well, and we were lucky
Yeah.
enough at the Sherman Oaks Film Festival. We were selected we were an official selection of the Sherman Oaks Film Festival. Joel and I were able to attend because that's here in Los Angeles, and so he and I got to hang out, almost a year later after everything, and so today, a year ago, all the cast and crew got to see the movie for the first time, and uh, and so I have a recording of that. I just took on my phone, so it looks terrible, but the audio of everyone like reacting to it, I'm like, why are they laughing so much? Like, I didn't think of that because you sit there and edit something, with Matt Walker, my editor, uh,
Yeah.
for weekend after weekend after weekend, and you finally get the thing hammered out. It's like, if it's a comedy, it's not funny to you anymore. If it's a horror movie, it's not scary to you anymore. And so I'm just letting
Yeah.
someone see it for the first time. And Dave and Tatiana were the only ones that saw a full cut of it, other than my editor and the
Yeah.
sound guy, because he did the sound and stuff like that. But all the crew that was there on the day that was shot, and their significant others or whatever that came, started they were laughing, and I'm just like, well, this has gone horribly wrong. so, so I have apparently made a comedy unintentionally.
Yeah.
But we'll find out what the internet says. And but there were a lot of people that did live reaction videos that were just like, I think this is going to mess up my algorithm. Like, I don't think I can. I don't think I can do a review of this because of the way that it ends. Like, there are a lot of people that were very shocked by the ending, and that's what I wanted so badly, was for people to be shocked and remember, oh yeah, that's David Thornton. Like, that's David Howard Thornton. And I almost forgot, he also is Art the Clown, and now he just ended Robin the way only David Howard Thornton does.
Good dude. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that,
Yeah.
that just seeing people's shock in those reaction videos, like, genuinely, like, whoa. I mean, they had a lot to say about things they wish were tighter or cleaner, or I wish these guys had more money to do X, Y, or Z, or I like this, but I don't understand it. And they had all these things to say, and then they got to like minute 10, and now they're just like, whoa, oh wow, he's dead. Like,
Yeah, I was one of those people too. Obviously,
yeah,
like I was watching it on my phone because I didn't know like
yeah,
how he killed him. I'm just like this on my phone. Like,
yeah.
okay, I think that was on the gut. Cause I know he rips out the eye,
Yeah.
which is hard to see on the fucking phone. then he then it's like, it doesn't matter if you crank it up to like 4K or whatever it is.
Yeah,
Like, it's
yeah,
hard to see it in like a screen like that big. I know Morley and I were talking about this, how we watch movies on our phone, but then if there's like little things, we just can't wait to go home and watch it on the big screen TV so you can see everything.
yeah,
And then the tongue part, when David rips out the tongue from Robin, it's like, yeah, okay, that's the tongue. But then the last part, when like he slashes his guts or whatever it was, and
yeah.
then it comes out, I'm just like, am I missing something here? I can't see shit in his phone because it's so tough. So yeah, and then yeah, the guts. So no, it
Yeah,
was awesome, dude. Yeah,
yeah,
David's like one of those guys that I really want to have on his podcast one day. That's like one of my goals for
yeah,
this year, is like try to have him on and stuff like that, and just talk about like these type of things. I know he'll be open to do it. It's just like
yeah.
finding a good way of contacting him. That's all.
Yeah, no, he's a good dude, and I can't speak for him and his time and everything, but I know this is going to be the year of Terrifier 4. I don't know when they go into production on that yet. I don't want to bother him about stuff like that, and I know as a producer, as soon as you tell someone we're shooting in April, it's like bad luck. You'll be shooting in May or June, or oh, we'll shoot in 2027, or oh, now you're not greenlit, you'll never be shooting. It's like, I don't even want to
All
talk
I
about
know.
it. Yeah, like, I
Well,
wish
all I
them.
know,
Yeah, wish
all
them
I
luck.
know that, yeah, same. All I know, I think it'll be released in October or November this year.
That's what I read too. I read that a couple days ago, and I'm excited. That's perfect. You want to drop a movie like that. I mean, if you got one that's Christmas themed, drop it in December. If you got one that's Halloween themed, drop it in October. My God, nobody wants a Thanksgiving horror slasher in February. Like we,
No.
like what are you doing? You missed a grand
Yeah.
opportunity. But
Like have it finished and edited and all that stuff by February, and then release it in December.
yeah, and you got all that time to advertise. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
it's a
Yeah.
short turnaround, man. When they start shooting Terrifier 4 and they want to drop it in October, that's tough. That's a big push, and but I know they can do it. I mean, they've done 3 of them already, and they know who they need to shoot and who they need to edit and how to do it. Like these guys aren't. They're not fooling around. They make a good horror movie.
Yeah, well, I think Damien's really smart with the
Yeah,
whole Art Clown franchise, because, like, from I think it was Terrifier 2, he was still working his day job and filming Terrifier 2 at the same time.
yeah, yeah,
So trying to
yeah.
make money from his regular job that he can put onto the movie,
Yep.
which I think it's freaking smart, so he doesn't go in serious debt or anything like that. And then that
Yeah.
blew up. Whatever the money that he made from that of the box office, he puts it into the third one, and the third one was like the most successful horror movie of that year. I think it was like, what, 2024 or whatever it
Yeah.
was, like that, when
Yeah.
it came
Yeah.
out. It blew the Joker 2 off the bit, like off the movie charts, like, which is unheard of in horror.
Yeah.
To see that
Yeah.
type of thing blow up. And that Joker movie was terrible too, by the way.
That was
I'm
tough.
sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
I'm a
something that I wasn't expecting.
no. And when someone told me that it was going to be a musical, I thought they were joking. I was like, well, why would you do that? Like, why would you do that with
Well,
an established franchise when the first one wasn't a musical? By all means,
yeah,
like if they're musicals all through, like kind of like the cartoons like Sing or Frozen or whatever else. Well, then yeah,
and
people are
Sinners.
gonna and say and Sinners, yeah,
Even though that
like
movie freaking ruled, I don't care what
yeah.
anyone says. I hope they
Oh
win all
yeah.
16 nominations.
Oh yeah, they set a record for nominations, and I think they're going to do just fine. Like, and I'm always kind of surprised that people cast shade at that movie. That movie creatively it did some things that I had never seen people do. That and logistically, just knowing how to shoot that scene with all of the other artists dancing through that were from different eras and different times, like
Yeah.
that took an incredible amount of choreography and orchestration to pull that off as one
Mm.
big long take. And I'm just impressed. Like they deserve awards, they deserve respect, and it's a good movie. Sinner's a really good movie.
I think for the people who were bashing out on it, calling it overrated, and it was like fucking okay. Um, got news for you guys. Shut up. But like,
Yeah. I think the box office take, I think the respect it's going to get from its peers at the award
yeah,
ceremonies, I think that what it's going to do for the careers of all the people that are involved in it, the A-listers that are in it are going to remain A-listers, but like
mm,
there are going to be people that were supporting actors in that are going to have good long careers because of the hard work that they put into that movie. I think that is all going to tell
yeah,
people that are just jealous, or they like one type of movie yet they review 1,000 types of movies. And it's like, look, we know it's not Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and that's your greatest movie of all time, and like how it's never going to be as good as Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. But like, you're reviewing a movie you don't even like in a genre you don't even like, and you just want to say you hate it so that you can be an edge lord. Like, it's
yeah,
fine. Like, that's the hate that I see online for it is not justified. They don't even have good reasons. They just say I don't like it, and they're not breaking it down
yeah,
and saying this why. He's not my favorite actor of all time at all. You know but I think in that he did a great job, and it's probably one of the best performances and then he's playing a twin, which is inherently difficult to make them different yet look similar
yeah,
but yet behave differently. Like one has a temper and the other doesn't. Tom Hardy did a great job of that. Like, there are people
yeah,
out there that can pull it off, and there are other people that do it, and you're just like, oh well, clearly this is just a match take where the camera was on a tripod. You came in and did the scene over here, and then they kept it rolling. You came in and did the scene over here, and then in post we're gonna mash it together, and that's gonna be what it's gonna be. And no, it was way more than that. He did a good job. He was solid, and I think people disrespecting the movie just for fun is just kind of. I think it's just lame.
Yeah,
I don't think you're a
yeah.
big fan of films if you just trash on movies like that for no reason.
Well, they're either not fans of movies or good movies and horror, because you're always going to get those casual horror fans that'll just expect jump scares and blood and all that stuff. But like,
Right.
you need a whole backstory, and the way how Sinners built up to from like the beginning to the end, hands down, I think it was well written. Even the Easter egg at the end, at the sort of like mid-credit scenes, you know. I reckon it might open up for a sequel. Who knows? Sometimes with those type of movies, it's probably just best to just leave it and just leave it for somebody's imaginary. Unless if you want to make it into a mini TV series, that could happen. But in my opinion, I don't think they don't really need a sequel. I think the way how it ended and the way how it was written and everything done, it was perfect. And that was like the first Joker movie as well. How it ended, it was perfect. Just leave it at that. That could probably just make it into a series what they did with the Penguin, which I really enjoyed as well. And Colin Farrell was amazing in that series. But yeah, I would love to see a Sinners TV series, and I think that'll be really. I think that might go well.
Yeah, and it doesn't even have to follow. I mean, I think it could precede how the first set of vampires find before they find that town, because it was really interesting when that wide shot of that guy running through that dry field up to the house to get in there as the sun's coming up.
Yeah.
The events leading up to that point, being hunted by those vampire hunters on horseback, like everything going up to that point, someone's already written that script. Like somebody has to be out there pitching that story as a prequel. I think it would be amazing, and you don't necessarily need your big A-list actor to come back, in any way, shape, or form. You just tell us what the world building was that led to this great movie. And I think it's interesting that way, just like Penguin, just like you said, Adam. Like Penguin standalone was great as a series because you got an A-list powerful actor who's good at his job, and then they built the story around him and ended up finding like terrific co-stars, and the young kid was awesome. I'm sorry I don't remember all the actors' names, but I think it's a perfect standalone series.
Yeah. Well, yeah, true, man. And I think it got nominated a few times as well.
Yeah, I think he did.
And that, yeah. Have you seen 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple?
Oh no, the one that just came out. No, not yet. No, that was
watched
maybe
it
gonna be.
yesterday, dude.
Yeah. No spoilers. Thumbs up.
I'm not. Yeah, dude, it was friggin' amazing. I thought where it picked off from the last one, because obviously it's like two parts, which I think they're going to be making a third part the way how it ended. And I'm pretty sure the director said when 28 Years Later came out was going to be a 3-part series, which would make sense to do that.
Awesome.
It was friggin' amazing, dude.
Awesome.
Yeah, you have to watch it and let me know what you think, or maybe we can do a review on it once you see it or something like that. I would happy to do that with you.
Yeah,
it was amazing, dude. I friggin' loved it, man. Like, just from start to finish, it was just amazing.
Yeah, the acting on the last one was great, and all of them have been great. I mean, Cillian Murphy, for crying out loud, was amazing, and all those years ago too. So no, it's fun. Like I've been excited for that one. I didn't know it was going to come out so fast. Like it feels like the last 2 months just flew by. But yeah, I've been trying to focus on figuring out how to raise money for this next fan film. It's hard because people don't want to invest in a movie that's not going to give them an investment back. And and so like it's literally a bad investment to say, here's some money for a fan film. When am I going to get my return plus 25% or plus 15%? It's like, well, you're not, because I'm not Warner Brothers, and this is a fan film, and I'm not going to be able to sell a DVD copy of it, or I'm not going to be able to do any of that stuff without their permission. But this is just me, a fan, making a movie that I think is fun. And so far, though, like we've had a fundraiser with shirts and posters and things like that from the first movie, and Lauren Alenia is helping like raise awareness, and so we've got Matt Belia is a graphic artist and designer, and like all these people from Instagram within the horror community coming in trying to figure out a way to get a budget so we can make this thing, because the script is bananas, and I wanted to just try and make something a lot bigger, maybe twice as long, um, but realistic to get shot, because once you start talking a feature, then it's like you need like $200,000 to hire the
Yeah.
crew to shoot for 10 days, or and I have to have, it's not just normal clothes. I can't tell people to bring t-shirt and jeans. It's like, this is a comic book movie. These people are going to need characteristic clothing, appropriate, and then heavy makeup because it's a horror movie. And so I started looking at a budget, and I was like, is it realistic to raise 50,000? And can I shoot for 5 days with 50,000? I maybe, sort of, I hope. And like there's some really talented people that have been trying to figure out ways to help get this thing off the ground. And at the end of the day, it's like
Yeah.
I gotta be able to crowdfund, and I'm terrible at that. I've never been an EP for like sourcing financing. When I made Joker's Wild, I just saved up everything I could, and what I couldn't, I put on a credit card, which is not the best use of a credit card. But
Yeah.
if you're trying to invest in yourself, and you have a dream to make something, like you got to try and figure something out. I know there are guys that have made movies for $500 because they just had a camera and they went out and they shot tiny pieces over like 3 or 4 years, and they were able to put it all together and they made something
Yeah.
really awesome. But I only had David for a day, and I had to make something happen. There was no time to run around and bang on doors. And certainly, I don't know anyone at Warner Brothers, so I can bang on a door and be like, "Hey, I got the guy from the thing. Can we, have permission to do this?" Like, no, I knew it was going to be a fan film right away, but I also wanted the world to see what David Thornton looks like as a Joker, beyond Nightwing Escalation, when it's just him, or it's him on stage doing a monologue from a famous
Yeah.
animated uh, Joker and Batman cartoon. Like I wanted them to see him in full makeup, almost like Jack Nicholson, but done as horror. And David wanted these other things too, and he's just such a nice guy. He let me have a lot of room to do things I wanted to try and do, to also direct him, which was super easy, for crying out loud, because he's experienced and doesn't need a lot of like, hey, let's talk about your inner process. It's like, no, man, the guy came on and he just was the Joker. And then between takes, he would do impressions of like Goofy and Mickey Mouse and all the, because he does like 1,000 voices. And so you're seeing a guy dressed up as the Joker doing a Goofy voice, and it's just like, all right, I can't deal with this right now. I can't process this right now. We got to get on to the next shot. And then as soon as we say, as soon as as soon as we say go, David's just immediately back into it, and just doing such a good job, man. I can't say enough good stuff, man. It sounds like I want to date him, like, but I'm just saying, if you're
In a
if you're a
non-weird way.
yeah, if you're in a non-weird way, if you're a director out there looking for a dude, like that's your guy. Call his manager. Get him on your film. He's gonna do a good job. like like if
Yeah.
you can get if
Yeah.
you can get him, that's the thing. I've got him on a couple movies right now. Like, we're still packaging, but like one of them's called Fanatic. I'm very excited for. I've got a great director attached to it, Kier Beck. Um, got a bunch of people on this. Nathan Jones, who was in Mad Max Fury Road. Scout Taylor Compton, who was in Rob Zombie's version of
Halloween.
Halloween. Yep, yep. I've
My
got Scout
favorite.
Taylor.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, which is pretty awesome. Yeah. Plus, I'm a huge fan of the music too. Always have been.
Same. I
I
can't
love.
wait. Can't wait
Yeah,
for his new album to come out next month.
yeah. No, I love the sound, man, and I mean, ever since More Human for Human, I was just like, I took it to another level. It's a yeah. It grinds hard. I love that. I love his music. And then when he started making
Have you
horror
met
movies,
him
I was
before?
no, I've been to a couple of his concerts, but I've never met him.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
I
I've met him once at a meet and greet, and he's actually super chilled.
I met his brother,
Oh,
Spider. Yeah,
Spider, yeah, he's
yeah,
another horror director too now.
yeah.
I think he's done like 2 or 3 independent like horror films. I watched one of them on Shutter, and it's actually pretty good. Like
No,
different style to what Rob does. I
yeah,
find that with Spider's one is a little bit more dark,
yeah,
more of like
yeah.
a psychological horror, more than what Rob Zombie's doing with like the hillbilly slasher.
Right.
You know what I
Yep.
mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
And it now the and Chrissy Fox is Spider's significant other, and I got to see her in this new short that was at the same festival mine was, but I saw it a week after I met her for the first time and Spider in real life because they were Barbara Crampton and all of her friends and Chrissy Fox and all these other scream queens did a Christmas music video, and my buddy was my buddy was directing this music video, called me, and he needed gear, and that's what I do for my day job is I have film gear, and I work behind set as a grip or an electrician or just whatever I can do, and then I have like all the stands and lights and things like that you need to make a movie, and I rent that stuff out and I go with it, and that's how I keep the lights on. And
Yeah.
so my buddy Matt Bass calls me up and he says, "Hey man, I know it's short notice. I need a truck and your gear and your hands if you're available." And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, no problem." And and so we go and we do this video, and then I find out it's a Christmas music video, and that it had all of these scream queens from all of these like the Reanimator, it's like the OG like awesome horror movies, and like
Yeah.
throughout time, and Barbara Crampton's there. I mean, serving cookies, and then they all got dressed up and did this funny uh, horror parody, and I met Chrissy Fox. And then 2 weeks later, I see
Nice.
her in this insane, like it's called Logia, I believe I'm pronouncing it right. It's made by a director out of Texas. You got to look that movie up, Adam. Like I don't even want to try and describe it. I'm not going to do it justice, but as far as horror goes and body horror goes, like Chrissy Fox is it. Like it was wild, and she got best
Nice.
actress. So yeah, it was a lot. Like I'm my film ran just before hers did in our block at the festival, and I'm like, well, I don't even feel
Yeah.
like a horror movie now. I feel like I'm a cartoon compared to what I just saw. But like hats off, that was
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
impressive. Yeah, it was really good, and I messaged Chrissy, and I was just like, wow, congratulations, by the way. That was some nasty business. And she goes, "Oh, thank you." She messaged me back and she goes, "Oh, thank you, I appreciate it." And I said, "Congratulations too." And she goes, "On what?" And I'm just like, "Oh no." She wasn't on site for her award, so she hadn't been
Yeah.
notified yet. So I kind of let the cat out of the bag. But she was super grateful, and the festival coordinator for Sherman Oaks Festival, Jeff, he had me on, and it was cool. That's a very supportive community around independent film, and I hope it stays that way. And I'm looking forward to my next opportunities and stuff. And Fanatic is one I really want to bring everybody as a producer. I think people are gonna really kill it. Soraya Bevis from WWE is attached to it to play a part, and so we're looking for a few more leads, some big hitters to come in, and hopefully I get to shoot that this year and produce that. We actually want to produce it in Australia, because Keir Beck is from Australia.
Oh,
Uh,
nice.
Yeah, he's and then Nathan Jones is from Australia as well. I mean, he's Rictus Erectus, 7 feet tall.
He was
Like
good in
in Mad.
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat, he was badass. Spiderhead, I think they produced that down there too. Was it off New Zealand or maybe it was Australia? But that had Chris Hemsworth and yeah, he was in that. He had the face tats, it looked gnarly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I like Nathan. He's become a really good friend, and I want to put him in everything I can. But his role in Fanatic is awesome, and I can't wait to make things line up to where I can shoot that movie. And I would love to do it in their backyard. That way, they don't have to fly everywhere. I'll be the one that has to fly. I don't care. Like a good
Yeah.
producer, I'll fall on the sword like a producer so that the actors are happy.
Yeah. Well, Aaron, thank you for like coming on and hanging out and talk a little bit about yourself, about the Joker's Wild, which we all love, and like the
Yeah.
possible maybe the sequel. Hopefully, we could see that soon.
Yeah,
We
you'll
already
see
know
more.
who's going to play. We
Yeah,
already know who's going to be Harley Quinn anyway.
yeah,
Lauren.
yep,
Yeah, she's
Lauren.
going to be on this podcast in a couple of weeks. She wants to come on and talk about horror movies.
Yeah.
You know, which I can't wait for. Well, is there going to be other villains and like announced
Yeah,
for that
yeah,
sequel?
yeah. Yeah, there are. One of them's a twist and a surprise, so I don't want to announce that villain yet. But there are gonna be some in there that are like I think you'll be excited about. And Morley is in there as well.
Yeah,
He's
he
gonna
told me
be
about that.
yeah, and
Yeah,
so we're gonna drop him into the mix. And I was talking with another fellow on set on this movie that I'm working on right now. He's a member of crew, but I just looked at him and I was like, "Are you an actor by any chance?" And he's just like, "Yeah." Like everybody here is like doing something with movies, but then we also have to pay the bills. And he's like the EMT on the movie I'm working right now. And I'm just like looking at this guy going, "You got to be an actor. There's no way people don't look like you and not act." And he's just like, if he's not a stunt double for somebody, he's like, "You look like a hero type guy." And he's just like, "Well, yeah." And he's his name's Spencer. He's a cool dude. And he's got a big movie coming up. He's a horror slasher. So now maybe if his movie takes off, I'll hook him up with you, Adam, so you can get him on here
yeah,
and interview him. He was super cool. Uh,
yeah, man,
but
for sure, dude.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
like
looking forward
I'm
to it.
open to chat to anyone, man. But yeah,
Yeah,
Morley told me some stuff about the sequel as well, like off camera. So like
yeah,
it was sort of like a bit of a secret, and
yeah.
that which is it's safe with me. But like I'm super looking forward to it, man. I can't wait. So let's finish up with some fun little questions. So who would you pick like your top three favorite Jokers in the
Oh,
whole
top
Joker?
like pre-existing, like already been.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, so like without a doubt, probably Jack Nicholson, Heath Ledger, and then like Joaquin Phoenix because of the first movie. Can I be specific like that?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's hard to
Yeah,
pick too because even the Joker in the Gotham series was really good too. Like he was
yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
You
No,
know.
he is cool. Like, and you can say Mark Hamill. I was just thinking live action, but like you got to respect Mark Hamill's voice ability. And to be fair, I think because Joker 2 came out, I'll bump Joaquin Phoenix off my list, and I'm biased, and I'll say David Howard Thornton. I'm going to put that out in
Yeah,
the universe and say like he's on my top 3 list because he needs to be a
yeah,
joke. He needs to be a Joker within the DCU. I'm hoping, I like Cameron Monaghan. He did a terrific job on Gotham. Um,
mm,
he's versatile actor, for crying out loud. He played every variant of like almost like a New 52 type of thing, where he played like just all of the clean cut ones, the scarred up variation. Like he did a good job. So yeah, incredible
nice.
actor.
Yeah,
So like he should get
yeah.
his flowers. He'll be my runner up.
So who would you pick as your like who would you like pick for your top 5 horror villains? Since we're talking
Um,
about like the Joker
oh wow,
and stuff
man.
like that.
Well, I
'Cause there's so
mean,
many good ones out there.
yeah, horror villains. I mean, Freddy, um, Jason. Uh, I think Pinhead, for sure. That that one got me really good as a kid. Like Pinhead freaked me out, and I think it was just kind of like the weird leather bondage and like the mutilation and stuff like that was a lot. I was way too young when I saw that. My cousin showed me that. I blame you, Jake. And, and so it was just not a good idea. Not a good movie for a kid my age to see. But Hellraiser was nasty, and I liked Freddy Krueger's sense of humor. But it was just really hard to see that too young too. Like I was just like in this little gap where I was like, I shouldn't be watching these movies, but I'm watching these movies, and the horror wasn't my thing then because I got too freaked out about it. But like the ones that like Leatherface, without a doubt, was frightening just because of the world built around it, and it seemed plausible.
Yeah.
It seemed like you could get lost, and then if you were lost, this happened and that happened and that could happen. And it's like they made me believe, like, oh wow, I got to stay off the dirt roads, kind of like attitude. I hope my car doesn't
Yeah.
break down in a country because X, Y, and Z could happen. And I think that's why
Yep.
it's such a successful movie. So like, yeah,
Mm.
I would put Leatherface in there, and yeah, Jason, just because it was like nothing could stop him. It was like this anything they did to him, set him on fire, drown him, whatever they did, like he would be back. And that is just kind of a frightening concept because like what do you do? You just grind him up into hamburger? Like what? At what point do you just give up? And I think that's kind of an interesting thing. Is like you run because that's your instinct is to run, and then at some
Yeah.
point, obviously you stand and fight and you try and stop this juggernaut. Kind of mentality. And I think that's an interesting way to do a horror movie. Is to just have your people get pushed to the raggedy edge where they have nothing left to lose, so they might as well fight. I think that
And they
I
put him
think
in
that
space.
and then put him in space. Man,
Yeah.
ugh. At that point, you're just like, okay, well, now you jump the shark. I don't know what we can do here. Like,
The
I just
kills in that
imagine
movie, man, was really good.
they were, yeah, they were. But I just imagine some executive somewhere just snorting a bunch of coke and going, "Now we're gonna put him in space." And it's like, ah, oh, come on. Like, okay, let's see him in space.
Yeah, like
Um,
could you imagine like Michael Myers in space or Ghostface in
no,
space?
yeah. Ghostface,
It'll be like
Ghostface would be a weird, yeah, just the robe.
yeah, just
he would
floating in the air in
he
a
would get all
ship.
tangled up in it. Yeah.
Yeah, soon it'll be like the slashers of Gardens of the Galaxy.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Well, dude, thank you
I
for
think I listed off the big ones. Yeah, those are the five, I think.
yeah, yeah. Well, I'll give you some of mine because like I
Yeah.
like horror villains, especially for what Rob Zombie does. Always makes him the good guys, even
Yeah.
though they always get away with everything. So I'll go with Captain Spaulding's one of my favorite villains because
That's
like, come on,
terrific.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, Tutti fucking fruity, man. And that opening
Yeah.
scene of like the House of a Thousand Corpse, like, what's a great opening scene? Like, how could you not beat
That's
that?
a yeah, no, and you're not going anywhere. If you forgot candy, you're not going out of the theater to grab it at that point. Like you're buckled in. That was a heck of a way to start. Rob Zombie
and,
makes a good movie.
and what really, really, really annoys me is that people used to hate that movie when that came out, and then when it was like the 20th anniversary, it's like like now you get all like those casual horror fans saying that yeah, this movie is so iconic. I'm like, well, you used to hate this movie. Like,
Yeah,
I supported that movie when it first came out. I even bought it on DVD for God's sake. Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, and that's the frustrating thing when people trash all over movies and then they come back and like, yeah, their pinkies out while they sip their tea, going, what's a great horror movie? It's like, well, you were never there in the theater. The director doesn't know the
yeah,
dollars and cents never came in. Like, You're
Yeah.
saying you like it in retrospect, but let's go back to Twitter when you were telling us all 10 years ago you hated it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly right. So yeah, Captain Spaulding's one of them, and then I'll probably go with Michael Myers because he's just like this spiritual
Yeah.
villain that just pops up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You know, that's where the guy teleports from one section to the other.
Yeah, there are
The same with
moments in
Jason.
those movies where you're just like, well, this is some creative editing because there's no way anyone could like cover this much ground. And now he's behind you.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. So, I was watching this interview with Kane Hodder, and one of the questions is like, so like, how the hell when the other person's running away from you so quickly, and you're walking from behind, and when they turn around, you're there? Like, how does that happen? Then he's just like, I just take shortcuts.
I take shortcuts.
Yeah.
Yeah. They run
You
in a
know?
straight line away from you and you found a shortcut. I don't think math works that way.
Yeah.
We all took
You-
enough geometry to know that like the shortest line between 2 points is a straight line, and that yet you
yeah.
still beat them there.
Yeah. And then, you know, my next villain would be Jason at number 3, because like it's Jason, man. He's just the guy that got picked on when he was a kid, and then he's just out for revenge, whoever comes into the friggin' campsite.
Yep.
And all that stuff, which I interviewed Ari Lehman on here about a year ago, and he's such a cool dude. Apart from when he was smoking weed before he came up on his, but like anyway,
he might have anxiety, and so being able to talk in
yeah,
front of people.
he's actually a really nice. He told me some really cool behind the scene things about that movie too when he was on
Awesome.
set.
Awesome.
Yeah, including the
that's
ending that as well. Such a cool guy. So yeah, Jason number 3. Number 4, I'll probably put Chop Top from Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
Yeah, there you go.
Bill Moseley,
Bill Moseley.
very underrated actor in a horror genre, I think. But him as Chop Top and Otis as well.
Yeah, I follow
And
Bill Moseley on Instagram. I have to.
fucking amazing.
He's
Yeah,
cool.
he's a great dude. That, and maybe number 1. Number 1's hard, so but I'm gonna go with Alice Cooper.
Oh yeah.
Here's the reason why I watched. It was one of the reasons why I got into horror at a young age. So I'm a big Alice Cooper fan, and what he does on stage too, he plays the villain.
Yeah.
Like he's like the villain of like shock rock.
Yeah.
You know, I don't
Oh,
really
dude,
care what anyone says.
that's so smart. Yeah, no, that's true because he is like Ozzy and Alice Cooper back in the day put on a show that was basically like a live action horror film. So that's
Yeah,
smart.
man.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And then like bands like Rob Zombie and Manson took it to the next level, which I still think if once Alice Cooper's time's up, I reckon either Rob Zombie's gonna pick up the flag and wave it, Marilyn Manson, or maybe Wednesday 13.
Oh yeah, I can see that. Hey, yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good. I think you're telling the future right there. Huh.
Well, I am from the future because I'm a couple of hours ahead of you. So there you go.
Yeah, technically. Tell me what the weather's going to be like and give me some lottery numbers or something.
Yeah, we get that film finished. No.
Oh, dude, I'm trying. I really want to. And my actors are going to be so sad if I don't get this going. But I'm always crossing my fingers and I'm always trying to meet new people. And someday there's going to be a Batman fan out there who's got $50,000 to throw away. And he's just like, yeah, make a movie. I want my name on it. I'm like, okay, I will. I'll make you a fan film. Just I hope the check clears. It's just too expensive. It's an expensive art form, but I admire guys that get out there and they make movies based on what they have, where they have it. But if you want to tell a fan film, you got to have costumes, you got to have action. If you're making a horror film, you got to have blood, gore, and tension, locations. And that's the tough part. Like I tried to write a script that I could get as much action to everyone as possible, but to also like respect like the horror genre. And then man, I'm really excited. I'm talking with a manager right now who's got some very talented clientele. One of them was in Smile. One of his actors or one of his actor clients was in Smile. and he's a monster creature actor, and I'm super excited to see if I can put all that together, and I'll announce that soon on Instagram. But
Nice.
again, I'm getting my cast ahead of my money, and so I got to try and figure out the financing part. And so anybody wants to buy a
Yeah.
t-shirt or a poster, go to Instagram, get the link, and pick up a t-shirt or a poster. It's Joker's Wild Movie on Instagram, and we're doing everything we can, guys, to put the money together. We're up to about $300. You know, at the rate we're going, we'll make a movie at some point. You know, it just if
Yeah.
you want it sooner, you got to help us out. Otherwise, it's going to take a while at this rate.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, fingers crossed we will get to see it soon, sooner than
Yeah.
never.
Oh,
So
yeah. No, it'll
yeah.
happen. It'll happen.
Ye-
It's just happening at the
uh,
indie rate, which is a very specific time.
yeah. Well, dude, thank you so much for coming on. I'll make sure I'll put all the links, including to the Joker's Wild short film, in the description area.
Oh,
Guys,
thanks,
don't
man. I
forget to
appreciate
like
it.
and subscribe and follow me on Facebook, Instagram. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube as well. Follow Aaron on Joker's Wild Instagram
Yep.
page, YouTube as well. So yeah, show your love and support for this guy because he really wants to push this second movie out now.
I appreciate it, Adam. I really do, man. I got a lot of people yelling at me already wanting this movie. A lot of folks think it's already been shot and put together, and this is like
Yeah,
promo for its release. And it's like, no, we're indie, man. We're indie fan film
it's
makers,
not
and
easy.
it's not. No, I wish I had big studio budget. I'd go and make all kinds of crazy stuff for you guys. But yeah, we're humble. We're a small team. We're trying to make another fan film. But Joel LeBlanc is excited to come back, and you'll find out what happens. Most people who read comics know what happens to Jason Todd and the whole Red Hood thing, but I'm trying to throw in a few surprises just like last time. So I'm
Oh
excited.
yeah.
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 Thanks, Adam.
And this time I won't watch it on my phone. I'll watch it on the big TV at home.
Yeah, I made it 4K for a reason. You watch it on your phone, man.
All right, man. All right, guys. Thanks for watching wherever you may be around the world, and stay safe, be
All
awesome, and
right.
be kind to each other. See you guys next time.
Yeah. Thank you.